Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to Energy Frontiers. I am Omano. Guess what's trending in and around Africa's energy industry this week? South Africa-based Anglo-American has signed an agreement with EDF Renewables to develop a renewable energy ecosystem to help take the mining company totally off-grid by 2030. Still in South Africa, President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has said that in collaboration with international partners, the bank will support South Africa to raise at least 27 billion USD to support the country's transition to renewables. Ethiopia's Minister for Mines, Petroleum and Natural Gas, Takele Umabanti, has signed an agreement with US petroleum consulting company Netherlands Swell and Associates to assess the potential of Ethiopia's oil and gas resources. The World Bank Board of Executive Directors have approved the 150 million USD to increase access to electricity services for households, public services and enterprises in Senegal. Eni and Sonatrach have discovered a significant amount of oil and associated gas in the Zemnet El Abi concession located in the Burkina North Basin in the Algerian desert. Preliminary estimates are around 140 million barrels of oil in place. The Greater Kumasi metropolitan area in Ghana will receive a 2.5 million euro grant from the European Union to convert solid waste into electricity and fertilizer through the Holistic Strengthening for Sustainable Development project. Within 30 months, 4 composting units and 2 eco stations will be completed for the project. Algeria's Sonatrach has signed an agreement with petroleum products company Naftal for the construction of a 424-kilometer liquefied petroleum gas pipeline to run along the Mediterranean coast. Coming up on Energy Quick Chat is a brilliant speech by a foremost energy minister. Stand by. The International Energy Agency has been an advocate for enhanced collaboration as the world makes efforts to reach net zero. On this week's Energy Quick Chat, we'll feature excerpts of the captivating speech delivered by the US Energy Secretary, Jennifer Granholm, on building partnerships across countries and industries in tackling the global energy crisis during the IEA ministerial meeting held on March 23rd. Welcome back. And now please enjoy this riveting speech delivered by the US Energy Secretary, Jennifer Granholm, during the IEA ministerial meeting with the theme, Enabling Net Zero, International Cooperation to Address Barriers to Low Emissions Technology Uptake.
In our first year, we in the US laid out our path to net zero. We made massive investments in the clean energy technologies that our world-renowned national labs and applied energy programs are researching and developing and demonstrating and deploying. We set these ambitious goals for cutting our carbon pollution in half by 2030, by reaching 100% clean electricity by 2035, and by achieving a net zero economy by 2050. We, DOE, the Department of Energy, put over $2.4 billion into clean energy research, development, demonstration, and deployment. We repurposed and rebooted our loan programs office inside of the department, which has now over $40 billion of loan authority for big deployment projects. And most importantly, we passed the first part of President Biden's Build Back Better agenda, which for our sake, for the Department of Energy's sake, gives us $62 billion to begin building clean energy infrastructure nationwide. And we are using that money to modernize our grid, to harden it against cyber and physical threats, and to prepare it for wide-scale energy deployment, adding capacity. We're using that money to help secure a domestic battery supply chain. We're using that money, most consequentially, to fund the clean energy demonstration projects, which will commercialize next-generation technologies that'll help us decarbonize faster, Large-scale demonstration is a critical part of the clean energy puzzle. We've already got incredible technologies that are right on hand, that are off the shelf, that are efficient, that are effective, that are ready to go. Solar, wind, electric vehicles, chief among them. We have to, though, deploy as much of these as we can, as fast as we can, wherever we can. But we know that deployment of those won't be enough. Last year's IEA analysis found that only 6 of 46 clean energy technologies are cheap enough to get us on track to meet the Paris Agreement. These demonstrations that we are undertaking at the Department of Energy help us to figure out how to lower costs for an important group of the remaining technologies, like clean hydrogen, like carbon dioxide removal, carbon capture sequestration, geothermal, advanced nuclear and storage, particularly utility scale and battery storage for vehicles as well. If and when we succeed, I'll just say when we succeed in moving these technologies from the field to the market, we will, and we have to deploy them at scale, of course, not just at home, but we will be able to, with partners all over the world, deploy them. And that's why we are expanding our collaborative partnerships on the international stage. Back in Glasgow, I announced our Net Zero World Initiative. That's DOE's signature contribution to President Biden's Build Back Better World program. And through that initiative, we'll be working with partner nations to design specific strategies to get to their clean energy goals for the clean energy transition. So, for example, we've enlisted in that effort our 17 national labs, our 9 sister federal agencies that are working on this with us, collaborators from universities, from think tanks, from businesses, from philanthropies, all working together on this initiative, this Net Zero World Initiative. These teams are working with our 6 inaugural Net Zero World partner nations to chart roadmaps for decarbonizing key sectors from electricity to agriculture. This is in partnership with those nations, in respect for those nations, using the assets that those nations have to be able to get them to reach their goals of net zero. And I'm glad that a couple of partners are with us here at this time, Egypt and Ukraine. The others are Indonesia, Nigeria, Chile, Argentina. So all of this work, net zero, not just Net Zero World, but all of the Biden administration's goals and what we set out to accomplish is aided, honestly, by IEA's remarkable capacity for modeling and analysis. And much of that, of course, has emerged thanks to Dr. Birol's just incredibly bold vision for an IEA that is equipped to tackle the 21st century and the 21st century challenges in energy that we are seeing right now. I thank him so much for his leadership, just as I thank all of you for your partnership, which brings me back to this side event and this ministerial today. I just have to say, I'll note that as ministerial chair, I may have to step away from some of our sessions early, so please forgive me if I do. But regardless of whether or not I'm in the room, I want everyone today, I hope, to spend time describing the essential steps that your government or your business or your industry is taking. My hope is that we can use these next 2 days to illuminate ideas and spread the word on practical, actionable efforts that any one of us could take on to learn from one another. Maybe it's progress from eliminating an inefficient policy. Maybe it's unfair trade barrier that you are knocking down to speed deployment. Maybe it's an innovative way to reduce the cost of a key clean energy technology. Whatever it is, I want us to use this ministerial and the IEA in general as a platform for sharing great ideas and poaching great ideas. My favorite time, I was a former governor, my favorite time was going to the National Governors Association and the sessions where we all sat together to share what we had done, our favorite parts of the past year, so that I could take a notebook of ideas and bring it back and copy exactly that. That's what we want to happen. There are a lot of great ideas here. We want to poach the best. My team will tell you that my mantra is deploy, 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 and over the next 2 days, our mantra is to figure out how. how can we deploy? Thanks so much.
We'll track some energy products prices for you after this. Still on this edition of Energy Frontiers with me, Omano Okunbo. London Brent crude went up 0.03% to trade at 119.06 USD per barrel. The US WTI went down 0.18% to trade at 112.14 USD per barrel as of early Friday. Natural gas went down 0.09% to trade at 5.39 USD per MMBTU, also on Friday. This week in Freetown, Sierra Leone, a gallon of gasoline cost 45,425 leones. Also in Maputo, Mozambique, a gallon of gasoline cost 300 Mozambican meticals. And that is the package for this edition of Your Energy Frontiers. And we thank you for watching. You can follow the show on Frontier Africa Report's website and all our social media accounts, as shown on the screen. I am Omano Okunfo, and I will see you next time.